This is a short video on all of the RVs that I've purchased since I started RVing in 2000. So I've been through a total of 5 RVs. Now most people would think that one would be enough, but each time I purchased one, I always saw something else I wanted, and I decided to give it a try. So I'm going to let you look at all 5, and you tell me which one you like the most. The last one, or the current one that I have, it's on a separate video. So at the end of this video, it'll show you how to look at the current one that I'm using. Hope you enjoyed the video, and leave some comments on what you think about each one that we owned before. Okay, so the first RV we purchased was the 2000 Trail Lite. And this was a small 16-foot travel trailer. And it's called Trail Lite because it's pretty light, made out of aluminum, not a whole lot of wood in it. And we purchased this from an RV show when we were coming back from Louisiana. So these are photos that we took once we decided to go through it and purchase it. So there was a little cooking stove that came with it on the outside, which we used quite a few times while we were out camping. The price was real reasonable. Matter of fact, I only put down like $500 in order to acquire it. And at the time when the purchase was made, I didn't have a truck. So we had them delivered to our storage area. And that's where we kept it for about 2 weeks before I purchased a little truck. I think it was a Toyota Tundra. So that took care of it, pulling it. So it had all the little necessities that was needed. All of your items in there. The bed was a little small to me, but it was okay. I didn't like too much of the color, but we dealt with it. But of course, this was our first rig, so we didn't know a whole lot about camping. We just thought we would give it a try and buy something cheap and see how it goes. So we kept this for I think 2 years. Now the things that I didn't like about it, as I said, it got a little tight inside. So that's my only complaint. Now this little unit, it did have quite a bit of storage, and it was small, easy to maneuver, as you can see. We were at a park, and that was our first trip we took. We didn't want to go too far, but it was a nice little rig, and that was the only thing we didn't like about it. Otherwise, it was pretty good to say it's a first-time rig. Now the second rig we purchased was the Cedar Creek, and that was a 2003. Now we also purchased this one while we were visiting an RV show. After walking around in the travel trailer for some time and we kept bumping into each other, we realized that we needed something a little bit larger. So that's when we bought the first fifth wheel. And of course, we had to sell our truck also and purchase a diesel. So we purchased a F250 diesel to pull this fifth wheel. We had lots of fun with it. We went lots of places. And that's showing how we travel with it. That's not how the couches are, but that's how we travel with it. I liked the inside because it had that rich look. It had everything wood, cherry wood. So it was really nice. My wife and I both loved this one. Matter of fact, I think this is one of our favorite RVs that we purchased. There were lots of storage in it. Matter of fact, more storage than we needed. It was considered a full-time unit when we purchased it. So we fell in love with it. And we kept this rig for 13 years. And the only problem we had with this rig was the refrigerator went out, and we had to purchase another refrigerator. other than that, can't really say anything bad about this rig. As I said, we loved it. We love the kitchen area. Excuse me. And we love the bedroom area. I mean, everything was perfect. This was one of the perfect rigs. Bathroom shower was really large. Lots of space inside, as I said, especially storage in the bathroom area. And of course, this rig had a ceiling fan, which was nice also. It was really, you know, a high ceiling, which we love. A full oven, which was great. And here we go with the third rig. We decided, excuse me, we wanted to go with a drivable RV this time. So we decided to go with a Class C. We didn't want a Class A because that was just too large. So we bought a little small Itasca Cedar Spirit. And once again, this was one rig we really did like this one a lot, especially being able to drive it. The only downside about this one is we did not have a tow vehicle. So that made it a little complicated sometimes when we went out and we wanted to go somewhere. If we didn't know someone camping along with us, excuse me, what we would do is just simply, try to get everything we needed before we left. And that was how we did it. It wasn't the reason why we wanted to get rid of it. We just thought that we wanted something different again. But however, we did keep this rig for about 5 years before we decided to go ahead and get rid of that one. But it had all of the necessities we needed, and believe it or not, this one also had lots of storage area. We had a microwave inside, the refrigerator, freezer, television. I mean, you had everything you needed. It was rather long. It was a 26 foot. No, I'm sorry. This one was, yes it was, 32. This one was a 32 foot Class C. The dining room area was quite nice. At least you had lots of space to sit around the table. And we had a jackknife couch. And we also had plenty of outlets in there. So this one had lots of outlets. And that's a picture of the jackknife sofa that we had. There was also a mirror right beside the living room or dining room table, which was nice. Floors was nice. This was when we had just purchased it. That's why you still see the plastic on there. Nice kitchen area, lots of cabinet space. Matter of fact, we had more cabinet space than we actually used for a Class C. That was quite a bit. Had AM/FM stereo inside, DVD player, and the front was really nice and comfortable when we're driving. And that's the way it looks on the overhead where the sleeper part is. That can change to a pretty large area to sleep in. And this is in the bedroom now, which was pretty large. At least you could walk around the bed on both sides. At the foot of the bed, you had about, like you see there, about maybe 10 inches, 12 inches. But it was enough to get around on each side of the bed. So it made the bed easier to fix. Shower was, that might be one complaint we had. The shower was a little small. I think it was like a 36 by 36 square shower. And sometimes, when you're taking a shower, sometimes I may bump the door open. So that's my only complaint. There was a overhead lighting over it. And this one had a medicine cabinet also in the corner. Had racks for your towels in the bathroom. One other thing I guess I'll say, there were only one sink and it was rather small, as you can see. The toilet was porcelain, so that was nice feature. And we also had central. And the unit was ducted. So that's the shower I was telling you about. That's a little small for me. And that's the shower door. And this was the fourth RV we purchased, which was a 2022 Cedar Creek. This is the one we had last, before we have the new one now. This was what we call our big boy. I mean, this was a 39-foot fifth wheel, and it was huge. Lots and lots of storage space. I also have a separate video on this one that I'll be posting soon. We love this one. Lots of space inside, as you'll see later. This is when we went boondocking, and this is pretty nice. We love that one. And now we are looking at the inside of it. Really long hallway. And here's a view of when you walk in the closet. This closet has the central console also inside to operate all of the slides and give you battery information, plus storage on the top. So we had lots of storage on the inside of this rig also. Bathroom was rather large, and we had double sinks. So this one was really nice, because it's nothing like having two sinks where both people can get dressed or brush their teeth, take care of their business at the same time. And we always try to customize our walls, so my wife and I put up what you see on the walls. All of that was done by us. We also put frost on this slide door for the shower. Sort of brings it out, makes it look nicer. And that's the little storage area inside of the bathroom to put towels and such, plus a little nook at the top. You can put anything you want up there. And of course, some people say, well, you need a clock in the bathroom. Well, sometimes you're in there too long, you want to know how long you've been there. Also had towel holders in the bathroom. And we had double mirrors over the sink. That was another nice feature. And now we're going into the bedroom. We had a nice sliding open closet with a window, not a window, I'm sorry, with a mirror, as you can see. The bedroom was rather large. We have two AC units, and they were whisper quiet units, which was really quiet. And that's one thing I did like about this Cedar Creek. The bedroom was rather large. It has a total of 3 slides on this unit. And there's some more artwork we did, and that's still in the bathroom. I'm sorry, the bedroom. And we try to decorate it to make it look homely, which my wife does a good job at doing that. Television right over the window in the bedroom. And this looks like a shelf to your left, but that's actually a photo. And now we're heading downstairs. We're in the kitchen area. So that's the little sort of cabinet that we put any little thing on, sort of like a coffee cabinet, what it's considered. And as you can see in the kitchen, there were lots of closet space, or cabinet space rather. And we also had a huge refrigerator. I mean, this was a really huge refrigerator with a built-in ice maker also. And that's the pantry you're looking at right now. And we have a large stove in this unit. You can pretty much put a full turkey in this oven. That's how large it is. And of course, microwave and convection oven together. And color television set, of course. Cabinet space above that. There are lots of space everywhere in this unit. And a fireplace underneath the television. And here is the back of the rig where the sleeper sofa is. Lots of cabinet space, or storage space rather. And we like that a lot. We put a lot of things in these above cabinets. And that's a photo of the sleeper couch that opens up to a full queen size bed. And we have a little ottoman there with a floor mat, which makes it really nice. And we have the night and day time shades throughout the unit. And that's the 2 recliners, and they're automatic recliners. And of course, the living room table. There are 4 chairs where there's 2 underneath in the bedroom. And of course, we have the kitchen area again. I want to thank you for watching and hope that you subscribe, leave any comment, or share our video. If you look below, you will see the next video that you can watch is the current unit that we have. So thanks again for watching.